Hello everyone and welcome back. Just a quick video update on Mullen. I'm following this one with you guys every day. Colin Popa, president of the automotive division, sold some of his shares. So what does that mean? I want to take a look at these insider transactions, and I've got this filtered on FinViz by sector and industry. And you can see, I don't know if most of y'all are following Tesla, but remember Elon Musk sold a pretty good chunk of his shares because he was preparing for Twitter potentially, and said he's might put that money back into Tesla. But not only Tesla, but Mullen here at the top as far as transactions for insider transactions. And Mullen, I think a lot of people took profits on Mullen at some point here over the past few months. And in institutional transactions, we've got almost 400% for Mullen. So I wanted to point that out first. As far as volume, the way this is filtered, everyone is down this morning. And why is that? I'll tell you in just a moment. So let's take a look at this transaction by Callan. How much equity does he have in the company now? He's got about 10,000 shares, or approximately $6,500. I would say that is not a lot in the company. So I don't think anybody would disagree with that. Number of transactions according to NASDAQ, just sales in the last 3 months, and 2 insider transactions on the sell side. So let's take a look at these filings. And there was 100,000 that he acquired at zero price. So down here in green, this was a grant of issuance that came to him. And, this was part of his equity incentive program. So what he decided to do was sell that so he could get that money. And, he sold it at 67 cents. So I don't think that's a bad price to get out of a position. And I really can't blame him at 50,000. It's unfortunate to see insiders selling, but there's any number of reasons, and I can't speculate as to why that happened. Now, the price is getting pushed down into that zone, and we'll take a look at the charts here in just a second. But FedEx warned of a global recession could be coming as the demand for packages fall around the world. Now, 500 million short of its revenue target just due to a slowing economy. And we know what's happening over there in Asia. COVID lockdowns repeat time and time again. They've just got a different way of handling things. And also in Europe with the energy crisis, this is something we've talked about time and time again. So we're starting to slowly feel that pressure. And it's not dramatic. It is a slow pressure that we're feeling. So the FedEx Express delivery business, they're doing things to turn this around. They're reducing flights and temporarily parking aircraft temporarily and trimming hours for its staff. So nothing too extreme, delaying some hiring plans, closing 90 FedEx offices and locations. And this is probably something that they needed to do post-pandemic when there was just so much activity happening with the lockdown. So I see this as a lean action that's being taken by a lot of companies just to make the company operate more efficiently, because I believe we may have gotten a little away from tightening business operations. But we shouldn't ignore the fact that FedEx does have a warning out for a global recession, and that's just something that we don't want to pass up and not pay any attention to. Now, electric cars are making a turning point as far as the Q1 sales were concerned, a 60% rise in new EV registrations, and this is definitely a good sign. We want to keep a pulse on, what those Q2 sales are as far as VIN numbers getting registered in Q3, and see where that's trending, because obviously there's some tax incentives out there for EVs, and we want to know that this adoption is continuing, especially when you're making a 100% EV play investment. And Mullen has got some time before they are actually going to execute this vehicle. It could be as far out as 2025, but I am bullish knowing that Bollinger could really pull through for them, and we want to get that van news. So that's really important. But this is the first time that we've ever had a tax credit for $4,000 for used electric vehicles. Now, the price point of $55,000 or $75,000 on this car may not be realistic, just giving the surging prices and the demand on lithium. So we'll have to keep a pulse on that. But I would not be surprised. The average vehicle, EV vehicle, goes for about $60,000 right now, and they're pricing it at $55,000, the base model, 5, and it'll just be very interesting to see if they can execute that as these prices are increasing. So September 20th to the 21st, that's the next Fed meeting. That's the date that we really want to watch this price, because it's going to be all buying opportunity leading up to this meeting. And if the Fed sticks to the 75 points basis rate hike and doesn't go any higher, we should be okay in the short term. But we'll have to keep a pulse on this, because we're not even sure if the Fed has the tools to fix the economy. I mean, it might be more complicated than that, because it's really not coming down all that fast. But we do want to avoid deflation. Now, FedEx price, this was a huge buying opportunity, and I tweeted this out. I mean, this was an opportunity to get in, get out, intraday trading for those option plays. I meant 155 all the way up here to 161. I mean, right here where it was sitting before, this was a huge opportunity. I would have taken it off the table here. That's a nice $5-6 upside potential here on FedEx options, but you can see it's starting to have a little trouble pushing past this line. But all the way from 200, big drop, found support, oversold down here on the RSI. Let's take a look at Mullen. So Mullen is in that range that we talked about previously. You can see right here in that window between 52.94 and, if I scroll this up, 52.23. So really interesting to see if it pushes past this line. It could go to 48. I think that would be its next stop, and you see it's not in an oversold area, but it is finding support. If we drill in to the 1 minute chart, you can see it really just has been hitting off that line. It touched it once and then came up to find support. I mean, this is something that you're going to want to hold on to until October and November. So you definitely want to give this time, not only for them to report out in an earnings, but I meant high risk, high reward. Obviously, this is a penny stock, and it couldn't be any lower than it is right now. But this could potentially, just given macroeconomic environment and everything that's going on with the Fed meeting, this could press down to 48. So I just want to keep you guys updated. If you appreciate this content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Give the video a big thumbs up, and I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.